This one, the Jake one. Watch the Jake one. All right.
Look, I'm gonna be super
I love Jake videos. Let's see what he has to say here.
honest with you. This is not surprising to me whatsoever. Absolutely not surprised whatsoever at what the fuck we just saw when we woke up this morning. Because I've been driving around Belfast city center quite a lot for the past couple of weeks, because as you guys know, I've been in the background, I've been slowly putting together and setting up my new content creation studio, my new off-premises studio in the center of the city. And
Damn.
I've been driving around quite a lot for the
Oh
first
yeah,
time
that's
around
right.
Belfast
He got
City
kicked out. He got kicked out of that because he was making like those videos in that one place. He got kicked out.
Center for quite some time, because I almost never go into the center of the city anymore. And what I see driving around is almost a 1-to-1 of blacks and whites.
The
For
white
every
room,
white
yeah.
person you see, there's a black right next to them or nearby. It is almost 50-50 disbursement. The immigration into Ireland has been so aggressive, and it was inevitable that it was going to come this far north. Absolutely inevitable. And we're going to get into exactly how the response to this has actually been, because wouldn't you know it, Keir Starmer went ahead and said now is the time to be calm, which how many more times can he really say that? I mean, every time something happens to white people, he comes out and says the tried and tested, don't get angry now. Now's not the time to be a bigot. Now's not the time for racism. Now's not the time for division. In fact, the real problem that's following this entire thing, it's not the immigrant that did the stabbing. It's not the worst part about this is people like me pointing this out. Calm. We should be calm.
The reason it's like this, the reason the sentiment is like this is because of the government. It's because the government giving special treatment to minorities and then allowing minorities to brigade together. They're single-handedly responsible for the notion, for the sentiment of people saying, immigrants, get the fuck out. If you're not white, get the fuck out. Like, if you're not originally from here, get the fuck out. And it's because the government has created this situation in which they have allowed the tyranny of people who don't belong. And I don't even mean don't belong because of this the color of their skin. I'm talking about don't belong because they're not culturally ready to be a part of civilization. That's the truth. They're not ready for it. They don't have the temperament, they don't have the culture, they don't have the nature, they don't have the genetics for it. Like they're just like these people get set off over literally nothing, and they go on murderous sprees over literally nothing. Like they just snap one day and then they're like, you're dead, and then they go after them. They try to do absolutely vile, animalistic things to people, right? And the reason it's like this is because they have let people into the countries wholesale, not thinking about the compatibility that they would have in society. And what that does is that creates a situation in which people who actually can function in society get lumped in with the people that can't. Because if you keep saying, well, their skin is this color, we need to calm down, then what that causes is for people to now have to think, okay, so if it's a skin color thing, then why don't we just kick them all out? And then we won't have any more problems anymore. Because if you're going to keep telling me that I can't do it because of their skin color, then how about I just don't care anymore? And this is what happens when the government doesn't enforce. They need to enforce the law as it is, to the maximum fairly, because people, when they experience the unfairness of this, especially in their homes, they're not going to take it anymore. It's only a matter of time before they demand it. The woke people ruin diversity. Is the point of everything I'm saying. It's the woke people's fault. They're the reason why we can't have diversity.
Keir Starmer is the that's holding his hand over your mouth while you're being stabbed over and over again. That's what he is. That's Keir Starmer. He's the guy with his hand over your mouth while you're screaming and you're being fucking eviscerated. Shh, 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 shh. This division that they keep talking about, that we're supposedly responsible for, already exists. We acknowledge that there is a division. In fact, there should be a new kind of division where they are segregated and then removed. Why the fuck are they here? And I've seen people come out and be like, well, he might have had mental health problems. Why in the... in the name of screaming shit
Yeah, why?
are we responsible for a mentally Somalian or Senegalese or wherever the fuck this guy's from? Sudanese.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
okay. Let's assume he has
True.
mental health problems. Why the fuck is he here? Why are we responsible for that, for this guy?
totally
Why?
agree.
Why are we responsible? How the fuck is he here? How is he here? Why do we have to be responsible for other countries' mentally criminals? What the fuck? Are we a dumping ground for the dregs of society from the dregs of the countries in the continent of
Thank you, by the way, Funtime or something, for the five gift subs. Thank you, Funtime. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thank you for the support the other day too. Thank you.
Africa? Oh, this
I
guy's
totally
a
agree with Jake,
statist.
by the way.
Throw him in Northern Ireland. It's been said that this is not being treated as a terrorist attack. Can you believe this? Yet more violence against white people, because it wasn't another Sudanese that he was stabbing. It was one of us again. It wasn't one of them. It's one of us again. The reason why I'm streaming earlier today is because there is a protest going on in my local area later on this evening, and I plan to be there. How many more times can liberals look at this shit and be like, this is fine, this is fine, this is fine, because you silly right-winger fascist, because fascist, Nazi fascist. Diversity. I'm going to give you to the count of 5 to explain to me why diversity is worth sacrificing people for.
It's true.
Why is it so good? And if it is so good, why are we the only nation doing it? Racial homogeny is pervasive throughout every other continent on Earth.
That's true, yeah.
Except ours. You say colonialism, like colonizers, white people, white colonizers, that's bad. But them coming over here and sucking off welfare and slicing boys' heads off is great. I am sick to death of living with these apologists for this violence. There is no way they can explain this in a good, moral way without now saying, it's actually because I hate you, white man. It's actually because of that.
Yeah, you know what's funny though? It's funny about, you know, I need to look this up. I need to look up if this is true, because I don't know, but based on my observations of like which countries were colonized, it seems like those countries they're doing better than the countries that weren't colonized. Am I the only one that thinks that? Like, I just feel like they were all considered way better than the areas around them. Like, I'll give you a good example. South Africa is one of them. Hong Kong. Those are the two big ones. But there's like other, like there's like the ports and like India. Yeah, India too. Yeah, it was really, really good back then, right? I mean, it's the reason why curry's all over the UK and stuff. Macau was one. Yeah, I feel like it brought a lot of technology and a lot of opportunity. And I know like it seemed like it was bad at first. And to be okay, this might be a hot take. Okay. Here's a hot take. It might seem like it's bad at first that another country was there with their technology, giving it to them, and it might seem like it was imbalanced. Like they were able to like get stuff at cheaper prices and were able to exert like technological dominance over those populations. That's because they didn't really have much to offer, to be honest. It's the truth. Like they, in terms of like technology itself, they didn't really have much to offer back. So in order to gain the technology, they had to kind of be subservient a little bit and give resources to kind of, because it's working off of like a sort of this for that, right? And anyway, the point is that the overall result is that the places that were colonized ended up being better than the areas around them, right? In the end. And this is why, again, South Africa was so awesome in Africa compared to all the other places. And you know, obviously, like, and then people bring it, oh, well, it brought racism and all of this, like, sort of second class, whatever you want to call it. But back then, that was the norm. And here's the thing, guys. That wasn't the norm in just colonized places. That was the norm everywhere. Like this was like a historical thing in all places where like this idea of racism and classism, it still exists in like India right now. Like, what are we even talking about? You know what I mean? Like, what are we talking about here?
No, I've been saying that diversity is great and other cultures are fantastic, and that's why we have diversity, but I'm kind of done with that now. That's been blown out of the water. I can't make that lie anymore. I can't say that lie anymore. Yeah, you got me. It's actually because I just want to see you replaced. I want to see you gone, white fella. I hate you. And yes, I may be a white woman, but I'm happy to sacrifice myself so that diversity...
Yeah, and the problem here is that there's a perverse incentive. The perverse incentive is social positioning. And this is why you see a lot of women do it, because women are better at this. Well, not better. Women play this game more than men. This sort of weird social positioning of like, I am better than you for these reasons. And it's all like social points to be like, I'm such a good person. I'm such a swell, nice gal. And they try to, and the problem with this, right, is that the reason it's so perverse is that they're hurting not only the country, they're hurting minorities, they're hurting equality, like actual like harmony between races. They're hurting all of these things for their own self. It's a selfish reason that they're doing it. They claim that it's not. They claim that it's not selfish, but it's 100% selfish. Yeah, it's 100%.
And succeed. Why the are we sacrificing so much for diversity? What is it doing for any of us? And it's not like this is another isolate. While this guy was trying to saw a white man's head off with a box knife, there was a migrant 5 minutes from that area beating the shit out of his wife and her dad. And each and every single time we're told to keep your mouth shut, don't talk about it, it's not important, shh, be quiet, shush, you might disrupt the diversity. Oh, we're very familiar with diversity and what it does, yeah. We're very familiar with it. Oh my god, if it wasn't for the diversity, people would be able to walk home at night safe. Who would deliver my DoorDash? I'm so happy they're here. Another white person stabbed, more kids attacked, or one tried to waltz into a school and just take a kid. That's fine. That's fine. That's allowed. They are allowed to do that because if we stop them, that means diversity has to end. And we're not gonna do that.
Yeah,
Diversity is the best thing ever. Justification pending. We'll let you know why it's good. Sit tight, white fella. We'll be back in a couple of decades to explain to you why diversity is good. We can't quite think of it right now. They just say the diversity we have to protect. Why do we need to protect the diversity? What is it? What purpose is it serving? Who the is it for? It's not for us. It's not for us.
Diversity for the sake of diversity is retarded. The whole point of diversity is that you allow the people in who are the best. That's it. That's the whole point of diversity. That's the only strength of diversity. When you remove the part about the best and you just like diversity because we need look different, then you don't have the benefit of diversity. The point is to allow people who are the best at things into the country.
It never was for us. I made a video about this. I think like
YouTube, dude, you just go on the Indian YouTube and then you put the auto translate on and then you learn how to make fucking curry. This isn't fucking rocket science, bro.
A year ago or half a year ago, I can't remember when it was. Diversity is our strength. Only makes sense.
I can make freaking Indian curry.
Black person saying it, when an ethnic minority is saying it, when a white person says it, it's no longer true. If it's coming out of an if it's coming out of an immigrant's mouth, it is true. If it's coming out of anyone else's mouth, a white person, an ethnic Brit's mouth, it's wrong. It's a falsehood. Diversity is their strength. They rely on us to have literally anything that they have. The jig is up, okay? The lie has been exposed. The cat is out of the back. This was never about trying to be nice to people, about offering opportunities to those that are less fortunate from other places in the world. This was never about trying to create a cohesive, respectful society of multiculturalism. It was never about that, okay? It should be obvious to everyone now, absolutely crystal clear, that it is about destroying white people, their culture, their identity, their ethnicity, replacing them entirely. It's been about that since day one. It's been about that for decades. Decades it's been about that. This precious...
It's because it's the only way to win against the Western countries. Western countries are too OP. We got too much too much progress, too much technology, too much military. This is like the only way. The only way to take down America is by destroying it culturally. Culturally and morally, it's the only way.
This diversity that Keir Starmer, he talks about it as if it has an innate sense of value to it, but never explains what the value is. We have to protect the diversity of why. Why do we need to protect it? Why does diversity need all of these sacrifices for it to work? Who the is it for? Explain it to me like I'm 5. We're supposed to just accept that diversity is good on the basis that white people are so awful and we are repenting for our crimes?
Which is not true.
That's what this is based on. White people are shamed into tolerating this. A Sudanese mentally ill man running around with a box knife. We allow this because we have been instilled in all of us white guilt. Yeah, you're a colonizer. You're a bad person. The sins of your fathers and all that bullshit. We allow this all to happen. You've got women walking around.
Yeah, the next time they call you listen to me, chat. The next time they call you a colonizer, just post a Giga Chad gif. just post that next time because it's actually true.
Around being like, I love my diverse community, even though one of her mates got fucked by a Sudanese guy a couple of weeks ago. But that's a man problem. That's not a Sudanese problem. That's a man problem. Oh, it's so much better when you paint it like that because now it can't be fixed, can it? Now there's nothing that can be done. Now we get to keep the Sudanese people. Fantastic. You see, if you had painted it as a Senegal problem or a Sudanese problem or Somalian problem, well, we can just about do something about that, can't we? Black bagged, back of the van, straight line back to Somalia. It's super easy to deal with that problem. White women especially, but all these cuck bros running around being leftists, they've been convinced that they are in a perpetual state of having to repent for the sins of the white man. So no matter what happens to them, and they can see it, no matter what happens to them, no matter the violence, the aggression, the hatred, the rapes, no matter how much happens specifically, no matter how much happens specifically against white people, this is good because we are repenting for our crimes. That's how they look at it. And Keir Starmer is a commie, okay? With a Jew wife, I'm pretty sure. They love this shit.
Oh
do you know
my
what?
God,
I'm super
dude.
happy that this is a worldwide problem.
Bro.
Because for too goddamn long,
no.
and this is why Europe has gotten as bad as it's gotten. For too long, because of the internet culture that exists being majority American dominated, it really is. Only American news matters and only Americans consume this level of online content. Europe has been flooded. Your homeland,
the ninth
America.
gate has
There
been
are
opened.
Americans in this chat. There are American fans of this channel whose roots go back to Scandinavia, to Spain, to France, Germany, England, lots of Irish. This is your home, okay? This is where you came from. The greatness that you took with you to the new world, the greatness that allowed you to make places like New York, to build what you have. That greatness was white European greatness that you took with you. You didn't step foot in America and be like, oh, suddenly I'm amazing now. No, you were amazing when you got there. Europe is your home. You should be so upset with what is happening to your ancestral homelands. And it feels like people are waking up to this. And do you know what it is? It's white unity is what's doing it. It's white unity because white unity is it's an international phenomenon. See, if you get nationalism, that's self-preservation on a national scale, right? That's your borders and everything that's within those borders, right? White unity, well, that's transatlantic. That's, I don't care where you're from, if you're white, we're all in this together. It's a sense of tribalism, of collectivism that we absolutely should enthusiastically embrace because that's exactly what they're trying not to happen. There are there's a lot of American
the same people that say like pride of gay pride, trans pride, black pride, you know, all of the race prides, the same people that say that think that white pride is bad. Like, think about that, right? Like, they don't actually care. They don't actually care about that. They're only using it as a weapon.
Fans of this show who have relatives.
You should be able to be proud of where you're from. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. With being proud of your heritage. The idea that like all of a sudden makes you like, you know, like you're gonna put on a fucking ghost outfit and just like walk around like, you know, hanging people from trees for no fucking reason. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Who still live in Europe. And I'm so glad that America is slowly starting to see what is actually happening over here. Americans woke up and they were typing the word Belfast, which is 20 minutes that way from where I'm sitting. I could not believe it. I woke up this morning and I thought this was going to be an isolated issue. I was like, holy shit. I need to raise awareness as to what is happening. No, Americans were on this already. There are going to be Protestants and Catholics. Those two groups, they're going to be together on the streets, uniting under the one thing they have in common, which is their ethnicity. But they're both going to be on the streets together, unified against this threat. And it is a threat. It is a deliberate invasion. I was at the crime scene today. I got my hair cut, 5-minute drive. I was at the crime scene. There were locals standing outside their front doors, literally 20 meters from where the evidence markers were on the floor. They have no idea who it is because that's North Belfast. And the guy that was being attacked was from West Belfast, which means someone knows who he was. But none of the locals knew who he was. None of the locals heard anything either. None of the locals heard anything. They have no idea how it got to that point. They have no idea where the guy is from in the local area. I am absolutely furious. This is what I've been talking about, was the inevitability of forced mass migration.
Yep.
And what they want to say is that this is okay because diversity and stuff. So this is okay. We have to put up with this. This is the price we have to pay to maintain diversity, which to date still has not been justified. There is an epidemic of kids in this country, white, Irish, ethnic kids who don't have a job. They can't get one because guess who's doing the job for pennies? And we were told that the workforce was in such dire condition that you had to import all these people. If that was the case, white people would have plenty of jobs. They'd all be employed and all of the deficit would be replaced with them, except that's not the case. I go to a Tim Hortons a couple of times a week.
What? You guys have Tim Hortons and you have those in Europe?
The drive-through. Every single one of them is Indian. What are the chances of that happening? What are the chances that, considering the small amount of percentage of the population in Northern Ireland,
I have Tim Hortons. I have one, like, not really near me, but within distance.
that is Indian? That every single person you hired in Tim Hortons is Indian? What are the chances of that? There's no way that's just a coincidence. I know Rupert Lowe says the only way to fix this is through the ballots. The man is a politician. Of course he's going to say that. He's not allowed to say literally any other thing. I'm not holding him accountable for saying we need to fix this in the ballots. The ballots are 3 years away. We don't have that kind of time. He is correct in the sense that when the time comes and we
have I been outside of Texas like ever? Yeah, I'm actually from California. So yes. But I always lived in the countryside in California. I was like never like a city person.
With the opportunity to vote for a cabinet that is not going to try and ass this entire country and forcefully remove the ethnicity and our identity from our hands. That you go and you vote enthusiastically as much as you can.
Yeah, I mean, this is the anger I was talking about. It's gonna happen eventually, and it's like I said, like at some point, right?
It never was.
For all the people that they argue or they fear. They fear the mustache man. They fear that kind of rhetoric coming back. At some point, when you allow people to be tyrannized, to be subjected to tyranny, so much, at some point they're gonna say, you know what, I'll vote for whoever will fix this. And if somebody comes along and goes, if you vote for me, and he's got the mustache, they'll vote for him. They'll vote for him because they just want this to go away. Because you can't keep living life. You can't live life in a civilized society with freaking people trying to behead people. It just doesn't work. And I've been saying this for a long time that, like, listen, guys, if you guys want to prevent the second coming of Mustache Man, you better fucking stop being so retarded. And they double, triple down on being retarded, unfortunately. And, like, we've gotten more and more and more retarded. Yeah, I don't really know, honestly. At this point, I'm just kind of like, we shall see where it goes. I'm doing my best to psyop people, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Starmer needs to be held accountable. It's not just him. I think a lot of people need to be held accountable. Jake brings up a lot of very good points. That being when people say, well, we need diversity. And the question is why? Why? Why do we need, we need diversity? But, like, who said that? Like, why do we need that? Right? And it's like they can't really answer it. Like, oh, like, what are they gonna say, right? They're gonna say, like, McCurry, like everybody was saying in chat, we can have the diverse food. Like, that's not worth it, man. It's really not worth it. And you can learn to make it, right? If you really want the diverse food, then learn to make it yourself. We live in an internet age, you don't have to be an Indian to make Indian food, right? Like, this is so dumb. Dreckenva, thank you so much for that 200 bits. Here in Germany, they are trying to ban the Conservative Party. Yeah. Of course they are. All I'm saying is I told you so. I told you this was going to happen. I told you the sentiments were going to turn. I told you that you keep asking for a race war, you're going to get a race war. And you're not going to win. It's always been my point. Is you want to make a gender war? You're not gonna win. Go ahead, do it if you want. You're not gonna like where it goes. You get too greedy. The irony here is they're the ones doing they're the ones doing the Hitler thing and being a little too greedy. You know what I mean? Like they, you want to be too greedy and overplay your hand? Okay, go ahead, see where it goes. Believe it's cultural appropriation if you make Indian food but aren't Indian. Well, then it's cultural appropriation for them to wear shoes. How about that? Uno reverse card. Huh?